Are you struggling with getting those really big broccoli heads? Well, it might be time to change your strategy. I'm going to share with you 5 tips today on how to grow the largest heads of broccoli for my southern gardeners. Make sure to stay for tip number 1 because it is the most important. So the first tip is going to be about when you grow your broccoli. So broccoli is a cool weather plant. It wants cooler weather. I do not care how heat tolerant the packet says it still wants cooler weather, which means for me here in Florida, I grow it during the winter. For those a little bit more north of me, you're going to be growing it during fall, winter, very early spring. So here in Florida, I grow mine starting seeds in September. Even though it's still pretty hot in September, I can take care of those seedlings and keep them in a cooler spot in the garden. You have to be thinking about what temperature it's going to be when the broccoli plant is almost to full size. So if we start our seeds in September and a broccoli plant takes about 3 months to be fully mature or its days to harvest, you're going to be all the way into December when you're harvesting your broccoli. December, it's nice and cool. That's what broccoli is looking for. When you go to harvest it, it needs to be a nice cool temperature. What does a cool temperature mean, right? It usually means at least 60 degrees at night, at least. And no higher than about 75 degrees during the day. You can kind of get away with a day or two at 80, especially down here in Florida. And if you're using a heat tolerant variety, but you really want to get your broccolis grown and harvesting before we hit our spring temperatures. A lot of people actually get this kind of part wrong because they're thinking that they need to grow broccoli like they do up north. Well, up north has longer fall seasons or longer spring seasons where they have cooler nights and maybe it's a little bit warm during the day. But down here in the south, yeah, we have to grow during the winter. If you're in a southern region that gets snow, these guys can handle quite a bit of cold temperatures. I can get mine to live through about 20 to 23 degrees. Anything more than that, you might want to cover them. But don't be afraid to grow them during those cold temperatures. They do sometimes get a little bit of leaf damage from the cold, but they are going to produce so well in the cold. You do have to maybe cover them if you're having like a super cold winter. Nobody here in Florida really needs to cover them. I would say even those folks up in like Pensacola who got all that snow, I don't know, maybe cover them for the snow. I think you guys got down into the teens, right? That's a little bit too cold for these guys, but you can cover them. They might have some leaf damage, but they are going to produce a head, and that's what you're looking for. If you wait to grow them until spring or start them until spring, then you're going to be harvesting them in summer. And summer here in the south is ridiculously hot, and there is no broccoli plant that I know of that can grow during the dead of our summer or be harvestable. Well, there's a couple small varieties that actually are harvestable, but you won't want to eat it because they taste absolutely horrible at that point. The next tip is going to be direct seeding versus transplanting. You can start your seeds directly. There isn't really any reason why broccoli needs to be started as transplants, but personally, I start them as transplants. I start them in trays, my seeds in trays, because we start these broccoli anywhere from September to February. And usually by December, January, February, it's cool enough that you could start them directly. Personally, I always start them in trays because I'm always starting my broccoli super early. Like all this stuff was started in September. And so in September here in Florida, it is extremely hot still. It doesn't start to cool off until like November. So starting them in trays allows me to do a couple things. It allows me to set the seeds in my patio where they're not going to get damaged by bugs, because that is a really big consideration in September here in Florida. It allows me to set them off into an area that gets a decent amount of shade. That's going to be pretty helpful for them as well, and being able to stay cool when they're young. And I can control how much water they're going to get, because if you start them in September or October, we're still in hurricane season here in the south, and there's still like a lot of rain that's happening. There's a lot of humidity, there's a lot of disease. By keeping them kind of away from the rest of the garden and out of the elements, protected, you can keep them from becoming overwatered, under-fertilized, all those things. The next tip is going to be around feeding your broccoli plants. And this is by far one of the most important things. When you put your broccoli in the bed, you need to put down fertilizer into the bed. I personally like using blood meal. It is the highest, or that I know of, the highest nitrogen source that is organic. You can find other synthetic fertilizers that have higher nitrogen levels, but if you want to stick with organic, blood meal is going to be the way to do it. And what I do is I do 1/3 of a pound. So I have this old, like, what is it? It's like I think it's a hockey cup. It's a cup that I got at a hockey game here. And I fill that completely up with blood meal, and that equals 1 pound. And I weighed it with my kitchen scale. And then I spread that across 3 beds. Not perfectly equal, just whatever, guys. Just sprinkle until I feel like 1/3 of the cup is gone, and then I move on to the next bed and I sprinkle. You rake that in, water it in real quick, and then you can start planting your plants. It's going to take the blood meal a little bit of time to break down. In the meantime, the seedlings don't really need a lot when they're young. It's when they get to this stage that they are really chewing up some nitrogen. There's a lot of other fertilizers you can use, especially organic ones. There's like Nutri-Rich from Azure Standard. There's Espima products like Tomato Tone, Garden Tone, Plant Tone. There's Down to Earth. That's actually where I get my blood meal from, is Down to Earth. You can get their all-purpose fertilizer. You can go with liquid fertilizers. Now there is a downside to using the liquid fertilizers as opposed to the granulars, like I just mentioned, those ones. The liquid fertilizers, you're gonna have to be putting it down like every week or 2. And I don't know about you, I ain't got time for that. I got a big garden, I got other things in my life. I like the granulars. So if you can plan it and you can get your garden bed amended before you put your broccoli plants in, that's your best bet in using the granular. I put 1 application of the blood meal down when I put these plants in September. I have not given them an ounce of fertilizer since then. So using granular does feed for a longer period of time. But if you have liquid fertilizer, you want to use the more liquid fertilizers, you are going to have to be doing them anywhere from every week to every month, depending on the product. Synthetics are usually about once a month, but the organic ones like fish fertilizer, you usually have to use them like every week or 2. And yeah, that's too much work for me. But hey, if you're into it, if you've got some extra fertilizer and you need to use it up, it's a great way to use it. The next tip on growing the biggest broccoli heads is knowing when to harvest them. I see a lot of folks, you know, on the social media groups asking, you know, is my broccoli ready to harvest? So there's a couple ways to tell. This is one of the most common ways, which is that there are 2 tiny little flowers that are popping out the side here. If you have yellow flowers, it's definitely time to harvest. Here are those little tiny flowers. Can you see those right there? Yeah, there they go. Those mean that this head is ready to go. And there's almost, you can almost see like some flowers opening up here in the center. Now the way that I know that this one is ready before the flowers start, because that's really when you're supposed to get it. When they're too young, the head is very, very tight and squished together. These little buds are very tight, and when you touch them, they don't move. But you can see here, when I'm touching this one, the buds are like separating. You can see separations in between them. The head has spread apart really far. This one's almost a little too ripe, I guess you would call it. This is almost a little too ripe. It is really just moments away from bolting, and bolting just means that it's going to go to flower. I'm going to show you another one that's even further along than this one, but let's take this one off because we need to get this one in the kitchen. Look how big that head is though. That is some big broccoli florets. And here's another one that is probably just a little bit even further along. I'm gonna cut this one off and I'm gonna show you the 2 of them compared side by side. And whenever you do harvest, just make sure to cut it at an angle so that way when it rains, it sheets off the broccoli plant, because there's more to do here. Now check out the difference between these 2 broccoli plants. Can you see a difference there? This one over here, yes, it's pulled apart. Yes, there's a couple yellow flowers, but this one It's pulled apart. There's a couple yellow flowers, but also, you see these like little things sticking up? They're kind of sticking up and away from the rest of the head. Even like parts of the broccoli, like this one right here, is all like kind of sticking up. They're all trying to bolt. They're all trying to go upwards so that they can spring pods out. They're basically like shoots, and then the shoots create the flowers, and then the flowers create the pods, and the pods create the seeds, and that's how you save your broccoli seeds. But this one that's trying to stretch upwards rather than stay together as a uniformed head, like this one's kind of still a uniformed head. Like there's no height difference here. You see those little things popping up? This one is a little far gone. I'll still eat it. It's cool enough during the day right now that the bolting process probably isn't going to affect the taste very much. But yeah, this one is too far. Hopefully I don't fall into the bed. I have a tendency to do that in these two beds right here. Just a little public service announcement. Never put your bed, the opposite side of your bed, to where there's something in the way where you can't go over there, like my pool cage, because you will forever be stepping into the bed and falling into it and everything else because there's only one way in. Oh, you can tell I've done that once or twice. I mentioned earlier that when you are harvesting your main broccoli head, to leave the plant, and here's why. Do you see this guy right here? I harvested this plant, I think like a week or two ago. And do you see what's happening right here? These are all little broccoli florets. They actually produce a second crop, second, third, sometimes fourth crop. So you take the head off and it causes the plant to want to try to make seed. It wants to reproduce itself. So the way that it does it is it pushes out other florets. So you get a second harvest. And these little florets add up over time. So usually you can harvest these about once every week or two. And as the plant gets older, the sprouts or the florets are going to get smaller and smaller until it comes to a point where there's really no point in harvesting it anymore. At that point, you can take the plant. Let's get the rest of these off. And by cutting them off, I'm forcing the plant not to bolt. So that's another good reason for doing this. It keeps it from bolting. If you wanted to bolt to save seeds, just don't cut these little florets off. You can still take the main head and let the little side shoots produce the seeds that you're looking for. Just noticed a couple more in this other plant. So I'm gonna grab a few of these off. Make sure I'm not missing any. Yeah, there. See, these are getting smaller. Let me show you the difference. So this one was the very first broccoli that I harvested. And this one I just harvested like a week or so ago. So this one I've already pulled off 2 rounds of side shoots. And you can see the difference. Like this is the floret that comes from the first side shoot picking, so from that one. And this one is after 2 or 3 harvests of side shoots, they start to get much smaller. So this plant I'm probably going to take out very soon because there's really no point in me just collecting like a handful of these once a week. Now the last tip, and by far the most important tip for growing very large broccoli heads, is variety. Variety is so important. So a lot of the times when you go into the big box store and you buy starts, they're going to give you something like Decicio or a Waltham. Those are small to medium sized heads. Naturally, no matter what you do, how much fertilizer you give it, how well you treat the plant, whether you grow it at the perfect time, it doesn't matter because that variety is bred to be a smaller head. I don't know why anyone would want a smaller head, but there are varieties that have smaller heads. And for the most part, what I have found in the seed packets in the big box store, as well as the starts, is almost all of them are the small to medium sized heads. This is about the size of those plants. So you're gonna see, and you're gonna wonder, why is my broccoli plant starting to do the spread out thing? Maybe it's doing the yellow flowers when it's this big. Well, it's a variety. I actually was testing out a variety this year. It was called Imperial. I knew it was going to be a little bit smaller of a head than what I'm used to, but it's significantly smaller than what I'm used to. I probably won't grow this variety again. This variety right here, the one I am now in love with, is called Green Magic. Green Magic I got from Johnny Seeds, it's obviously a much larger head. And then of course, my all-time favorite, the one I've been growing for years and years and years, is called Arcadia. It used to be produced by Johnny Seeds. It's kind of hard to find those seeds now. I have to go through, like, you know, places I don't typically buy seeds from, like Amazon, which I don't like to do, because you never know. You never know exactly what seeds you're getting when you buy from these little small wholesalers. But it's really hard to find the Arcadia seeds now. If you do come across them, definitely buy some. I have some that I bought from 5 years ago that are still sprouting. I haven't had a problem with germination yet. But if you're looking for a newer seed that's a little easier to find, Green Magic is where it's at. They have the larger size heads. So when you're looking at the description of the broccoli, it generally will say something like, it won't say small, medium, or large. It's going to say a number, you know, 3-inch heads, 4 to 6-inch heads. Green Magic, I believe, is a 6 to 8-inch head. So what they're talking about is the distance from side to side. This one is, I would say that's like 6 inches. It's on the smaller side. They get even bigger than this. But you're looking for those heads or those varieties that have the largest head size. So 6 to 8 inches is good. If you can find one up to 10 inches, wow, that would be a very large head. But usually the ones, if you're buying the seeds from the store and not like a special retailer like Johnny Seeds or M.I. Gardener, they're going to be selling the smalls and the mediums. I don't know why. I wish I could understand why that is, but that's what they do. Maybe, you know, I thought to myself that maybe they do it because they grow better in this area, but I've grown Decicio, I've grown Waltham. Yeah, they produce, and they do produce a little bit sooner, but you don't get near the amount of broccoli if you wait just a couple more weeks and get a larger variety. So if your strategy has been to get seeds or starts from the store, you know, I understand. Just have healthy expectations that you might be growing a variety that is never meant to get to a large size. So when you see this little small head and you wonder, why is it already starting to bolt? Why is the flowers coming in? The head is not big enough. Sometimes that has zero to do with how well you treated the plant and 100% to do with the variety that you're growing. Varieties that are small to medium size don't get much bigger than this. Now, they do produce side shoots, so you're still going to get side shoots. The side shoots are going to end up being smaller because the head is smaller. It equates to how big the side shoots are. They kind of correlate. So you are going to end up with smaller side shoots as well. If you're growing a broccolini style or one that's called sprouting broccoli varieties, those are all small heads as well. The broccolini variety is usually going to have like a really, I don't have one right now, but it's a tall, skinny variety, and it really spreads out super quick. Like my Green Magic takes at least 3 weeks before it gets to this point, from the time that it's full size to the time that it's overripe or starting to bolt. Takes about 3 weeks, but a sprouting broccoli or a broccolini is going to do that within a week. It's going to do it super, super fast. And the head is going to be small, and the side shoots are going to be small because they're meant to be. They're meant to be broccolini, which is kind of tall, lanky sprouts of broccoli where you're eating more of the stalk and a little less of the actual floret style. One thing I have noticed is if you find like super heat tolerant varieties or ones that are known to grow in Florida, they tend to be the sprouting broccoli types. There's a purple one, I think it's called like Percabra, I think. I don't remember the exact name. I grew it 1 year and realized I thought it was a purple broccoli. It was not. It was a purple sprouting broccoli. And the sprouting means that you get like a fairly small harvest. If you are not a huge floret eater, but you do like broccolini and you like the greens, grow the sprouting varieties. They are much heat tolerant. They will last longer. They'll last all the way into May. You know, they will produce a lot of foliage. They are going to produce a lot of those sprouts that you can eat that are like the stem part of it. If you're into that and that's what you prefer, yeah, definitely grow the sprouting. But if you want those nice big full heads, you need to start growing varieties that are designed for large big heads. I hope this was helpful. If you learned something new today, please head down to the comments and let me know. I love to hear you guys' feedback. Happy gardening, everyone.